Hello everyone, welcome to New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. Please forgive the hair, I'm having it done on Thursday. It's got long so quickly from when I had it cut and it's just a mess. So we'll forget about that and we will continue with today's information. So lots of mini topics as you saw, lots of different themes and things to give you tips and many other things. So let's start first of all with this one. And just a short little bit on Cyprus today. I'm going to talk about Kolossi Castle. And that's 14 kilometres west of Limassol, some of you may know that as on the road to Paphos. And the guide says, a fine example of military architecture, originally constructed in the 13th century and subsequently rebuilt in its present form in the middle of the 15th century. After the fall of Acre in 1291, it served as the Grand Commandery of the Knights of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem. In the 14th century, it came for a few years under the domain of the Knights Templar. There's a lot of Knights Templar history in Cyprus. If you're into that, you definitely need to come. Nearby are the ruins of a sugar mill dating to the 14th century. Now, if you're interested in that, I have got a whole video on it. And let me just bring up the URL for you. And then if you're interested, you can go and look. If you're listening to this, as I know many people do, on your phone, or you're busy doing something else and you have this playing in the background, I do have the link in the description today. I try and remember to do that, to put the links in the description. If I ever do forget to put a link in the description, you're interested in something, just drop me a comment and I can send the link back to you in the comment section. So this was on my, oh no, it was on this channel. I've just scrolled down to my other channel. It's on this channel. Video 267. So I'll just get to that. 260. No, I'm looking at the wrong number. 469. I've got a lot going on today. I will fill you in on Wednesday on this channel over what's going on here. So sorry for the delay. Here is the link on Kolossi Castle. I filmed all inside of it, so you can have a look there. And this is the link to Kolossi Castle video. And while I'm scrolling up and down like a yo-yo, there is a video where you can see what I do from this end. We need to say good morning to Steve and Tina Jewel. Check out their channel. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciated. I did actually go and watch a couple of your videos today. Okay, so let's move on straight away to this topic. And as I often say to you, I do make my own notes, particularly on growing things, and I kind of collate so much information and I pull out the relevant or the things that actually work. So here are my notes I'm going to read to you. Oh look, all my notes. So I thought today we'd talk about watermelons and melons. Watermelons and melons. Steve and Tina say thanks. No, thank you for being here. Appreciate you very much. Now, I know we're all in different growing seasons, let alone growing zones. We don't have growing zones in Cyprus because I could look at area of land right next to mine, and they won't be able to grow things I grow, vice versa. And there's some things even on my land I can grow in one area and not in another area. We don't have soil at all where I live. I live on a mountainside, so in any of my videos, if you see what looks like soil, it is all my own homemade compost. Sometimes the ground looks earthy just where we walk around, but I can assure you that is not earth. It's just kind of dust and barren landscape, so you can't grow directly in the ground here, hence why I comment all the time saying about how I mostly do hugelkultur. Steve and Tina are saying hi. Okay, so melons and watermelons. Basically, you can transplant them when they have between 3 and 5 leaves. I tend to opt for more leaves, so more erring on the 5 leaves just to be sure. They need to be about 6 to 8 inches tall. Again, with mine, I let them get far too big for whatever I've seeded them in. The growing tip needs to be pinched out just above the 4th or 5th leaf. Now, I never do this. I let things just grow naturally here. You can pin them down when there are 4 side shoots. When they've each produced 3 leaves, they too should be pinched out, this time above the 3rd leaf. Once again, the plant will produce side shoots and lots of flowers. When fruit appears, when the fruits are produced by the female flowers, they will be about the size of a walnut. Then select 4, best if 1 on each main branch. Remove all the others and any that later appear. Now, I always say it doesn't matter how good your pollination is, if you get bees and all sorts of things in your garden, still get a little hand like art paintbrush and just go around all flowers of everything you grow. In that way, you will guarantee every single flower will become fruit. At the 2nd leaf beyond each fruit, cut off the remainder of the shoot and keep the other side shoots pruned so that the fruits are not shaded or crowded with foliage. Cover any bare roots with soil. You can place a pot very slightly above the ground. I use terracotta pots, or I even use big rocks, and stand any fruit on top of them once they start to grow. Firstly, so you can keep a better eye on them. Secondly, so they don't get wet. And thirdly, to make sure no bugs go straight to them. You can, if you do an actual pot, you can cover them over as well if you're afraid. I actually use netting, old curtain netting, and I make little bags. You must have seen it at least on my grapes. I put net bags over everything so they get the rain and the sun, but they don't get eaten by bugs. If you put pots over the top rather than standing your fruit on top, you can, of course, then water the pots. You also this way avoid collar rot as well. Water regularly and heavily, and if they split, it means you've had sudden changes of water. So you might have suddenly had excessive rain, or they suddenly become too dry. This happens with tomatoes and many other things as well. So there's some basic tips for you on growing watermelons and melons. And someone was talking to me the other day saying they grow a variety of watermelons that used to be in Cyprus, but they're so rare. They've managed to get hold of some, and I did let them know it is the type of watermelon that all Cypriots always grow and still do. So I don't know if it was some con from where they got the seeds from, but no, they are the only type of watermelon that can really grow in Cyprus. If you grow, there's only one strain that doesn't need much water. Anything else, you have to really water like crazy for it to grow. Okay, let's move on to our next topic of today, our next theme is this. Now, I believe it was last week, I've been sorting out my computer games, my CD disc, and I came across the, like the manual, that's the word, manual for Printmaster Gold Publishing Suite, which is really good for its time that it was made. It's very good. And I just was flicking through the book live and I read you some ideas from it, some basic design suggestions, how to design certain things. And it was quite good. So I've actually been sitting here flicking through again, and I found a little bit more that you might be interested in if you print something or make any kind of media art, or even for your channel. Let's think even thumbnails these days. And this section is working with text. And it says, great looking text can make the difference between getting read or being ignored. And it's saying you can modify any selected text with your choice. Think about your fonts, the sizes of the text, the shape of the text, the colours of the text, and any exciting effects you can make to the text. And it's saying, here's a design tip from the professionals. And this says, you probably already know about using an oversized capital or first letter with your text treatment. Now experiment with a different font. Script characters can add a nice flourish of elegance. Also try to embellish the oversized capital letter with a slightly different colour and then add a subtle drop shadow. So there's more information there for when you're making your next thumbnail or anything else you might do. Maybe you're someone who designs merchandise, so it's not just a case of getting your channel name out there. And I must say, I was offered someone to do merch for me, and at the moment it's not something I have time to put my head to. But it's very important when you do your merch to think about your channel name. Will people want to walk around with your channel name on? But there again, if you have some fancy, clever saying, it also needs to relate to your channel. So I did have ideas on that, but I really, as I say, don't have the headspace to go forward with that right now. I think there's one item up, maybe two, but I don't promote it because when I release it, I want to have options of items. I think there's socks, and I'm not even sure how to get into the, I do have a link for it somewhere, but as I say, I need to check it out and see if they're up. There's socks, and I think there's a bag, a tote bag, but don't ask me to send you the link because I need to check it out first. And as I say, right now, it is a bit beyond me. I'm heavily into treatment at the moment, so do excuse. Okay, so that was my little bit of information for you on arts and crafts and inspiration too. I hope some of that was useful to you. Dawn's prattling on because I haven't got my next bit ready. Okay, let's go on to the next section today, which is this. And can you believe we're still doing the mini book of Aesop's Fables? Look how thin it is. And I've been going on this for quite some time now. Been going on it for some time. Yes. So the story we're up to, there can't be many more. This must be the last one. No, there's two more to go. This one's very, very short. Okay, this one says, this one's called The Rivers and the Sea. All the rivers got together and complained to the sea. When we reach you, our waters are fresh and clean and drinkable, and then you turn us silty and salty. If it upsets you, said the sea, don't come. And that's it. Oh, that's a good proverb for life, isn't it? And the moral or the proverb is, what cannot be cured must be endured. What we cannot change, we just have to put up with. Or as I like to say, either do something about something or walk away. We certainly don't like the keyboard warriors, do we, complaining about things? So yeah, if you don't like something, it's like when people don't like your channel, then just go, there's plenty more out there. Yes. Steve and Tina, no plan for merchandise. No, I put up or shut up. Are you talking to me? Yes, I agree, put up or shut up, basically. Yeah. I also, with the merch thing, going back to that, the one most YouTubers used was Teesprings, and you will know, no, I know you wasn't. And you know Mr. Jimmy from The Astute Tourist, who's often in my chat, he actually was saying to people not to use Teesprings anymore. He was finding that he thinks they've changed their manufacture of the t-shirts and sweatshirts he was particularly talking about. And he was saying that he'd sent a load out and they're not cheap. Well, I say they're not cheap. They are cheap. If any of you don't know how merch works, you don't pay anything as the channel. You go onto the site and you just put your design. It's easy to do. You don't have to have a design or anything. It's easy to put in. And then what you do is they have the price for, let's say, a t-shirt. So they have the price. And then what you do is put on as much as you like on top of that price. And then when they set up your page, if you like, so it doesn't take any work, and they put your price in and show your design and your colours you've chosen and whatever else. And then that money you put on top is how much you earn from when the t-shirt's sold. You don't have to pay anything up front and you don't have to sell so many. But they don't like it if you have like hundreds of bits of merch and you barely selling any. Obviously, start small, have a few bits of merch, and then you make that. So their original price is quite good. Some people, some channels would just put maybe a few euros on top, pounds, dollars, whatever you want to say. But some double or even triple the amount. And I did see on someone's channel recently, a big channel, none of you guys, a really big channel, and someone said, oh, they're quite expensive what they're selling, and someone else in the chat said, oh yes, but it must take time and effort, and they have to make a design and they have to manufacture and get them printed. No, it doesn't cost you anything to set up any of these merch sites, and then you can put money on. So I'd put a couple euros on. I think, as I say, I think it's the bag and the thing. But what I recommend to anyone to do before they buy any merch, first look at the company that's being used, then look at the price of it if you were setting up these things, and then decide, do I want to pay triple the amount? It's no work to a host. It really isn't. The triple the price, or you know, if they're pushing too much, then do you want to? But as I was saying, Jimmy from The Astute Tourist said he sent loads out. As I said, I think it was sweatshirts and t-shirts, or just sweatshirts. And his fans were actually coming complaining to him, saying after the first wash, all the logos coming off and they're going all bobbly. And obviously he doesn't want to be involved with that. But he said they were fine before. So he was saying about he's recommending people don't use them anymore. But obviously there is a chance if enough people that order from there put in the complaints, they might change back manufacturers. So obviously Spring Tees was looking at getting cheaper t-shirts and sweatshirts. So yeah, so do look how much people are doing, but know that the channels, it's not costing them anything to actually do anything. I mean, as I say, setting it up doesn't take that much time. I just don't want to deal with anything else right now. And yeah, so those who are just like sitting back, oh yeah, we're charging an extra €20. I don't think I'd want to buy from them. So do check it out before you do anything like that, because it's not making any effort for the seller, let's say. Okay, let's move on to our next section of today. I've got Pebbles next to me. Unfortunately, she's asleep. Just before I started, she was behind me. Hence, you can't tell, but I'm sitting right forward because she was behind me. And now she's laying next to me. You never get to see her, and I can't put the screen down far enough that you'll see her because she's really small. So let's do the next section of today. The next theme, people have been letting me know, emailing me saying this is one of their favourites. I wonder if that's because I keep saying the jokes are everyone's favourite section, but everyone's saying this section is actually their favourite. Okay, so today's tips, we're going to talk about eggs. And I have 2 tips for you. Oh, she's sitting up. Let me see if I can just grab her, because you never really see Pebbles on my lives. Here's Pebbles. Oh, she's all warm. Oh, was you waving, darling? The lady did a quick wave there. She had a little twitch. There's Pebbles. She's purring. See if you can hear Pebbles. She's a darling. She's a pretty girl. You go back down there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're talking eggs. Got distracted by Cat. So I have 2 tips for you on eggs. The first says, when checking the freshness of eggs, remember, they should be heavy for their size. They should have a rough shell. If you break an egg on a plate, the yolk should be high and rounded, and the white should be jelly-like. And the second egg tip, when using eggs, use at room temperature. Remove from the fridge about an hour before use. I can't say I take them out an hour before. Cold eggs will be more likely to crack when boiled and curdle when cooked, and not whip as well. Cook gently. Rapid cooking causes curdling and toughness. Cool hot mixtures before adding to egg. Before whisking egg whites, make sure that the bowl beaters, etc., are free from any trace of fat, or the whites will not whisk well. I didn't know that. When separating eggs, make sure there is no yolk in the white, as the whisk volume will be less. So some good egg tips there for sure. Stephen Tina, say hi, Pebbles. Stephen Tina, 20 seconds, the eggs are cooking. Great. Great, that's fantastic. Okay, let's go on to this section, which I thought was everyone's favourite section. I have tria for you. Tria is 3 in Greek. I'm going to teach you some Greek now. Tria. So the first one is Mrs. Sinclair, an 80-year-old widow, lived in Sandwich in the Shetland Isles. She was visiting her dentist to have her dentures renewed, and while in his waiting room, she read an old magazine, an article on cremation. Next time she visited her doctor, she brought up the subject. Dr. Robertson, I have been reading about this cremation. I think it is a splendid idea. Do you think I could arrange to have it done in my will? The doctor explained that as there were no facilities at that time in the Shetland, the cremation would have to be carried out across the land in Aberdeen. Mrs. Sinclair thought for a moment, and then she said, in that case, I won't bother because I get sick on the boat. Good one. Oh, Stephen Tina says they like all the sections. Thanks. On my other days, I've got new segments coming up. Yes, got lots of fun new segments coming up. Okay, the second joke. I will call these more puns than jokes. Anyway, the counsellor had worked hard to get the family rehoused and called to see how they liked their new home. The small son was sitting on the doorstep. Well, Tommy, how do you like your new home? No more overcrowding, eh? Well, no, said Tommy. I have me own room. Me sister has hers, but poor old mum still has to sleep with Dad. That's funny. Like that one. Merchandise was interesting. Oh, that was something else about my merch. When I was setting it up, there are about 7 channels, supposedly, with merch, all called New Beginnings. So I wanted to do something to let you all know which will be my site. Now, what I've done is I've used my icon that you see here, my gecko, the black circle with the gecko. So if you go looking for my site, make sure it's got the icon, the black circle with the gecko, because there were loads of others. Because someone, before I even started merch, someone told me they bought one of my merch. And I was like, how can you buy? I don't have merch. And they said, oh, yes, it's a site. We looked it up. It said it's New Beginnings. I was like, no, you bought someone else's stuff. And they were doing it to try and help me out. I was like, I hadn't even looked into merch. So, yeah, do be careful. Look for my icon. You can set, I forget where it is now because it was so long, but you can go in and see whose merch it is. So an icon comes up. So forget what it says, New Beginning. It does say, I think, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus, but they might sometimes shorten it and just put New Beginnings. But there were definitely then about 5 different New Beginnings. So mine has got my icon, and I think that's the only way you can really tell what's mine of anything. I will always use my icon. And they did say also on this spring teas, I don't know if other people do it elsewhere, but sometimes if you don't have merch, someone will take your channel name and start merch. And then the same thing happened that I've just told you about. So do also make sure, sometimes it's worth starting a site with your channel name, even if you don't start selling merch. Get on the platforms and start there. And I advise you use your icons that everyone sees all the time. Okay, one more joke. A Welsh rugby team came up to London to play the Barbarians, but at the last minute they found they had only got 14 men. The captain of the Barbarians, a perfect English gentleman with rounded vowels of the better public school, came up to the Welsh captain and said, I hear you're one man short, old chap. We would be very happy to lend you one of our reserves. And the Welsh captain replied, oh, no, boyo, no need. we don't intend to be the one man down for long. And if anyone knows about Welsh rugby, yes, they're pretty violent. Oh, Stephen Tina say nice icon. Yes, personally for me, when I started my channel, I just wanted something that said nature, Cyprus, and by having the black background, if you go scrolling, if you've got your list of who you're subscribed to down the left hand side of your screen, and you go scrolling quickly to try and find a particular channel, my black one does stand out just because it's plain background. So I don't like myself as such, so I certainly wasn't going to use a picture of myself. And it looks quite cool if you go on chats, and if everyone else has their icon up, I put my icon up, although on my lives I don't like people putting icons up. But if other channels are doing it and like it, I won't go in a chat room and put myself up on screen if everyone else got their icons up. You feel a bit stupid, your face on screen and all the other icons. So no, I do that. Okay, let's go on to, let's do quote corner. I always forget I'm not now doing quote corner at the end, but I do forget to do it sometimes. So what is it? It's Monday today, so this is the new quote for Mondays. Yes, we'll pick music there. Okay, let's move on to the next theme or topic of the day. It's quite handy actually having the little music going on, because right now I'm not even on your screen. I'm scrolling, so I can't see you. So I'm just trying to find a link for you of what I want to tell you to watch on your coffee break today. And it's actually a video from my other channel, and it's positive quotes. I have a whole series of them. I think they have their own playlist on that channel, and this is episode number 4. Episode 4, positive quotes. And also, if you're not into the positive quotes, back in the positive quotes, I have filming that I filmed of clouds. So you can either just watch it for the clouds, or you can watch it for the positive quotes. So if you want a nice chill out video, it's got music backing. I don't speak in it. The quotes are printed on the screen, lots of different quotes. So if you just want a chill out video, then you can just watch the clouds with the quotes. So do watch that one. I've put the link up there. Again, I have remembered today that anything I was going to share with you, I have put the links under this video. So do go and check them out. I'm looking for watch hours on my other channel. I have 1K there, but I have very small watch hours. So it'd probably be about another 6 years before I get monetized on that channel. That would be very helpful to me. So do that. And while we talk about links below, don't forget, if you want to start paying for StreamYard for the extra parts there, or if you haven't done StreamYard before and you want to pay for the paid stuff, which means you get everything, you don't have to see what's free and what's paid, then I also have in the description below a link for a discount code. So do check that out. I do have a link for Canva as well, and I went in to download it for you, the link to get Canva for free. There are free bits, that's what I use, but if you want extra bits, and I was downloading one of these new things, new interlude bits, and I downloaded it at the same time, and it said it had saved it, but I got no clue where it saved it to, so I've got to find that. Okay, let's go on to this segment. I don't think I've used that for a while, have I? I don't remember that little ditty, that little tune. Okay, so on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, I'm posting on Wednesday a video, a declutter video. So that will be, yes, Wednesday. That gets posted on Wednesday. That's what's going to be posted. So if you're into decluttering, and you'll see a bit more of this room, something I'm decluttering here. But that's not all it's about. It's linked to that. Some of the things I find as I declutter, I tell you the story of it. So it's about my childhood, something I find, and I tell you the whole story of it. So if you're interested in me and getting in my head, there's a story of things I find as I declutter there. So you might like it just from that perspective. As I say, that's on my other channel on Wednesday. Steve and Tina say I have trouble finding save files all the time. Yeah, Mike has taught me to try and look where it says it's saving to, but I don't remember that at all. Hey, Jeremy and Cheryl's in the house. Jeremy and Cheryl Cruise Adventures. Guys, you need to go and check out their channel. Don't forget. So, and don't forget, when you do go and check out people's channels, do hit that subscribe button. So welcome to you guys. Yes, do check them out. Steve and Tina say, got clutter, mostly plan on keeping it out of sight of Tina. Well, I'm going to share with you now a few of the things I found there. It's only a small bit. If you want to see more, then go and check out. And I will just put the other channel up for you, because I know some people are new to my channel and they might not know the other channel. So I'm running it on the ticker tape under this channel name. So go and check out my other channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. And I always say on the other channel particularly, do check out the titles of all the playlists, because that's such a mixed channel. It's nothing particular, but it's a bit of everything. So there might be parts there. There's cars there. You might not be into cars. There's there's all sorts there. Go and check out the channel. There's animals there, wildlife, all sorts of things, places and crafts. That's where all my crafts are. If you're into crafts, that's where you want to go for crafts. But so much stuff. So this is some of what I discovered. So first of all, we have basil. Now, I'm sure Steve could tell me why he's named Basil. Does anyone know why the rat is called Basil? It's from a very famous comedy program. It is an English comedy program, but it was shown literally all around the world. And I have on the other channel, running on the ticker tape, a video, and it's Find Basil the Rat. And what I did was went out in the garden, hid him and took a photo. And you have to look at the photo and find him. And I did, I don't know how many photos, but the whole video is each picture. You have to try and find Basil the Rat before the next picture comes up. If you find it hard, of course, you can freeze the picture, hit pause, and then you can try and find him. Let me see if I can find that link for you. I did put it as, I think, a Halloween video. I think I put it as a Halloween video, but of course you can play at any time. If you've got friends over, then of course you could play that then. I think it might be with the odds. Won't be with household. Maybe it's on this channel. Maybe it's on this channel under holidays, holiday videos. Let me just see. Probably under holidays. I would have thought that would have been Cyprus holidays. Holiday dates. Let's see if it's in there. No. Didn't think it would be in there. Well, if you're interested in it, I will find it for you. So drop me a comment and I will find it for you and add it in. Okay, so Basil the Rat. Oh, we've got comments up. Let's see if anyone's got where Basil the Rat's from. I'm sure Steve would have figured it out. Yay! 40 Towers. Absolutely. That's one of the best episodes. And then also there was a donkey, obviously. There was a dog. Obviously, you're just going to see the soft toys. There's a pig. Good show. It certainly was. I would say it's my favourite ever. And that's why John Cleese stopped doing it, because it was such at its peak. He didn't want it to dwindle. We have a chef pig, obviously. This pig loves you, it says on its apron. Oh, look, I think its legs have been used for all those cocktail sausages. We have monkey. We have monkey. This is not mine. I think I said that in my video. That's Mike's. There. And then we have 3 bears. I like these. I can't remember what these are called. Me to You. Me to You. I think these look really cute. This one I love. I just love his little knitted jumper. There. And the last one there. As I say, do check it out. The video, it's going to be on Wednesday on Tranquility Channel. Oh, and I found this at the salvage. You get all free. You can take anything you find. It's brand new, a wicker basket. So all those soft toys I've just shown you, I put in there. Steve and Tina, Dad's Army, a favourite for me as well. And Steve and Tina say, my clutter, mostly future projects. Yes, that's why I wanted outbuildings when we got this property. First of all, Mike's got so many tools. And then I thought he's got another area where basically he can store stuff. I mean, old bits of wood, and that's Mr. Colin Waffles, just knocked the table again. Now he's under the table. Yeah, so I think if we don't keep rubbish, which I'm sure is the same for you, it's things that will be useful. Yeah, got them as well, definitely. Colin, why are you bashing the table? It's gone now. Yes, so I think that's it. You've got to have the space for things, but I've always said it would have been good if I'd actually become, you got wood. If I did upholstery or something like that at this recycling place. It's actually the dump. I've filmed it loads of times. We actually went again the other day, so I've got something really awesome. So I've got that on a bit of film to share at some point. What you do is you take your stuff you don't want anymore, and you can also take solar batteries, car batteries, oil, all the stuff you can't get rid of. You take it there, they put it in the right area, I'll tell you where it is, and then you can go along and take anything you want. So there's paper, I'm trying to think, they're like big skips, but there's also areas as well, furniture. A lot of the stuff there seems to be people just clearing out, let's say, ex-rentals or something like that. And that's why a lot of stuff's really good stuff. Furniture, yeah, as I say, wish I could do upholstery. I would take a lot of it away and redo it, like I have the time. Steve says running out of space. Yeah, sure. We'll get some projects going. Get some projects going. But Mike doesn't like when he sees people's videos and they like buy new wood when they've got something else they could use, or they do offcuts and throw them away or burn them. That's the worst thing. They buy new wood, cut bits off. They are good for other things, but they burn them. It's like I was watching a video and they were burning their olive branches. It's like, oh my goodness, it's so useful. Yeah, so you can take what you want. There's like paper, kitchen stuff, as in you saw before, I got loads of baking tins, like bread loaf tins, and I use those drip trays. I came back with loads of plastic, as in Tupperware drip trays. That's mostly what I get. There's brand new flower pots. Someone's obviously cleared out a garden. I've got flower pots. Steve says 3 moped, 1 motorcycle, 1 motorcycle in parts. Why? Oh dear. Yeah, really funny. So, as I say, furniture, they have so much of that there. I tend to try and take out, you know, this sort of plasticky shelving you get in fridges and freezers. Take those out, put them upside down on your plants, and that basically creates a little greenhouse over your pots. So I like shelves, or if you get the really big shelves in some of them, the sort of plasticky stuff, you can seed, say, a raised bed or straight in your ground, lay them on top, it germinate. It's absolutely wonderful for that. It's really good. So that's basically all I've got to share with you today. As always, I want to thank you so much for being here. You really are appreciated. And again, also, if you're watching this back later, drop a comment, say hello, so I can thank you personally too. So thank you all so much for being here. I will be back tomorrow. I've got a really weird week, weird busy week. So I'm taking more time to think than normal. Yes, I am back here tomorrow on my other channel, but I'll probably be later than I normally come on. It's not a live, it's a pop-up live. So that's good, because I don't know when I will be back. If I miss tomorrow, don't panic, because I might just get back late and then be too tired. So don't panic if I'm not here on my other channel tomorrow. It's a pop-up. Oh, and Stephen Tina saying 1962 Land Rovers. Oh, super. What an amazing vehicle that is. Really cool. Love Land Rovers. Stephen Tina say, thanks for live, Dawn. Have a great week. You too. Thank you for being here especially. And I'll see you guys all soon. Till then, Maraki.